We are going to call to order today, May 13th at 3:30. We're going to do a roll call to get started here. Mark? Here. John?
Present.
Gary?
Here.
I am here. Kevin?
Here.
Bill?
Here.
Retha?
Here.
All right, that confirms our quorum. Minutes will come out later and we'll approve them at next meeting.
Yes, sir.
So nobody saw anything in the minutes that they had issues with, right? We're good to move on from there. Old business, some of this actually kind of is, the second item in new business is kind of old business. But we'll skip through and straight down to the new business, unless I'm missing something, Retha.
I don't think so. I mean, that resolution could have come up to old business.
I'm gonna start with that.
Oh, okay.
Skip over that just because
Okay.
we can do that. We talked last time, 2 times ago, we met and got a report from the water department and city engineer. And then last time we made a motion to help fund a project that would do research on the existing water lines and kind of plans to know what that is so that when people come in to develop, we can give them that answer. Right? We discussed that.
And just a quick update on that is it went to council. So what this resolution is telling you is that the council approved the contract, us to move forward with that contract. And so what I'm saying here is that we are authorizing that council can take that contract, Amanda can approve those invoices, and that we are willing to pay up to what you guys had voted on, up to 30,000 of that. Ryan, am I missing anything? That's just how it went before council. So that was on Monday night. No, this past Monday? The Monday before this past one, that council did approve that. So once this is done, then we're really, I think, good to go on our end anyway.
So nothing else you need from us.
Right. We need to make a
motion on this.
We need to make a motion to sign.
Yeah, and then
We all
everybody
sign
has
this,
to
right?
sign it,
Yep.
yes.
Yep. So if there's a motion or any discussion regarding this 30,000, not to exceed 30,000 of the $63,000 proposal.
Right, and I did send this, I had asked Ryan to look it over and asked our city attorney to look at it, just to make sure I didn't miss anything, that there were no flags on anything that was written here. Which again is why you didn't get it earlier, because I sent that before I went on vacation and then came back and then neither of them had any issues. So I felt confident that this was okay, but it does need your approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution up to $30,000, not to exceed $30,000.
Second. Anybody discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so what I will do, I'm gonna do this one right here. 13K. I will pass this around to get signed, and we'll keep.
Quick question, Retha. Since I'm non-voting, do I sign?
I don't think
If
so.
there's a spot for you on the bottom, you are. If there's not a spot, we know the answer.
Who's the secretary? Oh, Carrie's the secretary, John and Bill. So no, I don't think that you do, yeah.
I didn't want to sign something. I mean, it's not quite if you want.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a medal, right? Yeah. The next part is something that we need to discuss. The rules we've done in the past, the rules have changed a little bit, and you guys can talk a little bit about it. But it's presenting a letter of excess value, I guess. And I don't know if Retha or Ryan, if you're the better one to discuss that.
Ryan.
Ryan's on.
Yeah, so this is something that we've always done on a yearly basis. The letter would look familiar. If you guys vote for it, from Eric as the president will sign it. It's just stating that that you don't intend to return any excess TIF to the other taxing units involved. We have the option of doing. We never have before. They just kind of stay in the cash balance for the TIF area. They've changed the legislation a little bit. We've been doing this for years. Always did our due diligence here, but maybe some other communities and redevelopment commissions weren't. So they've changed the legislation now that if you don't formally do this and
sign the letter and send it to the units, then the county auditor, I think it is,
Yeah,
will automatically take part of the TIF and return it to the taxing units.
yes. So if it's not turned in, I think you sent it to the DLGF.
Yep.
Department of
Yeah, I upload it to Gateway, to the LGF, and then I send the letter to all of the taxing units that are listed on the letter, so.
And if it's not sent in now by June 15th, then yes, the auditor can take a percentage of our money, of our TIF funds and distribute it how they see fit or to the taxing units.
Is it how they see fit, or is it based on the percentage they would have had?
I think
Do we
it's
know that?
5%.
I think it's a set percent.
It's a set 5%, and then I don't know if it just is split out to all excess taxing
Percent of what?
5% of what?
of our TIF fund, what's in our TIF funds.
If we don't do this, you're saying?
If we don't do this by June 15th,
Yeah.
Not of the annual deposit, but of the balance?
yes. It's,
It's of our TIF distribution for 26.
oh, okay, yes,
Okay.
yes.
And this is on the old TIF description, correct?
That would be the current.
It'd be
what
the
they're-
current
What they're
one.
collecting on, now.
Yeah,
Because it's 26, 27.
Yep. You're stating basically for next year, you're not going to let them return any of it. We're going to take it all. Put it in our cash balance, so.
and that doesn't
Kind
mean
of a
that,
formality we've always done, but
right,
now if you don't do it, there's gonna be some sort of penalty, so we're just, we want to continue to do.
yeah, and this is different than, we do that one in December that says, hey, we might wanna give money to the schools for training, or we might do this, and we separate
That's our
that
spending
out.
report.
That's
or
our
I don't know what
spending
they call it.
one that has done at the end of the year. This one is different. So this isn't necessarily saying that we wouldn't do something for the training at the schools or something, but it's just saying, yeah, we're not gonna,
You know, and it probably doesn't matter, but if it, say it's a 5%, do they split that out then, though, based off the percentage that they would have collected normally on those taxes?
I'm not sure on the legislation.
We aren't gonna get to that point, but, well, I shouldn't say, you guys have to
It
discuss.
would seem reasonable.
Yeah, so probably not.
Legal thing to do, but not.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, and that came out, so I got an email from Baker Tilly about it. Ryan, I think, knew about it, and then Tom Pittman sent me an email and said, hey, just a reminder, if you don't do this now, you can get penalized 5%. The auditor can take that, and I was like, well, we always do that. I mean, I had to call him, like, don't we always do that? Like, why? But like Ryan said, it must be that some communities just weren't doing their due diligence and doing what they were supposed to do, so I guess they added a penalty to ensure that we did get it done.
Yeah, even so, 5% of that 1 year's revenue is
Yeah,
not huge.
Not at this
nothing.
point.
Not at this point, yeah, but
Right. But it would be a way, yeah. It would be the easiest, if you ever wanted to do it, it'd be the easiest way to get money back to them without doing that, but I don't, that's why I'm asking percentage rise, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine it's for, returning the TIF would be more for people who have done some large projects and the TIF income was huge and they wanted to distribute some of it back easily to the other units. But I don't think we're really at that point, so.
Yeah. And I could see that there could be pressure from these units on the commission here, if that was the case.
If there was a significant increase in
Yeah.
assessed valuation, I would assume they would.
Or different bills coming from the state level where there's money not coming out there, there could be pressure. Yeah. So it looks like it takes my signature if you guys have approval on that.
we do need to take a vote on that.
Yeah.
I'll move that Eric should sign it.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. It'll pass. We'll get her signed.
You can just give that back to Brian.
Sure, that one goes so they're both together. Those were the two main items we had on here. Retha, do you have a report for us?
Not really, just that, once the contract is completed with FMB, in that resolution, if you guys notice, it just gave Amanda, so she doesn't, like, they will invoice monthly. They'll say, here it is. We will do the PO to how it comes out, and Ryan will help allocate that out of the different departments, but this also gives it, so Amanda will keep us updated on how that study's going and what that looks like as she gets things, but this way we don't have to present every invoice every month to get approved. We're approving her to take care of that. So just, I want to make sure you guys saw that, but I just asked her to give us any significant reports, updates as that study goes through.
Are you able to share any updates for us on potential, you don't have to be specific, potential projects within the TIF that we've now have that you can say, hey, are in your radar, that we kind of get an idea of money that may be coming in the future?
I think Serenova is a lot closer.
Okay.
So the Serenova development they've done a couple plat amendments that they had to do. NDOT changed a little bit. I could probably pull the map up, but they are requiring them to do like a median at the light heading north. So the light that you would turn on to Selman Drive, which is the drive that takes you back to Meyer, where the stoplight is. What they didn't want, and I'm totally okay with this because I feel like as we get more development, I don't want to end up, and not in a negative connotation really, but Auburn is a big mess on West 7th Street. The traffic and the locals there are just frustrated. You can't turn out, you can't turn in, and that's going to do a huge project there. I didn't want us to end up like that where you can't turn into a road because there's cars lined up and there was just so much congestion and whatever. So they are making Woodhall Drive a right in and a right out so that cars are not lined up at that light heading south and somebody's heading north trying to turn left into Woodhall and can't do that. So there will be a median and you cannot turn left when you're heading north. I'll pull up the map so it makes more sense. So anyway, that was approved at the council meeting. They kind of talked about that with getting done. So that portion is done for that Serenova development. Their last plat amendment has been done. So he is much closer to development at this point, which is exciting for all of us. I just have to get there. I don't know where I am right now.
Keep going a ways north.
Oh, I'm not even on. Yeah, sorry. I can't. This has such a weird lag to it. It's hard for me to. Okay. So here's Selman Drive. Here's Woodhall. Our engineering department did some traffic studies and did counts right here, and said there's only like 400 cars a day, and they seem to primarily be for this industry here, this industry, they go around, it's not just traffic coming. It was morning time when they're going to work. It was lunchtime and leaving work. And so what NDOT said is he had a couple options. He could do a whole nother turn lane and widen this, which is a significant cost, or they could put a barrier here so that when you're sitting at this light, the cars are not backed up here and somebody heading this way wants to turn left. So it's a right in, right out only at Woodhall is what they approved. And he will have to put in some sort of median of some sort. There has been no ask of us, so there was no offer of anything, but that will have to be done there. But as Serenova gets developed, so if you guys remember, I showed you that plat and I can bring it back, but there will be an access road here that comes down here, and all of these are separate parcels and commercial lots on both sides of that access road. So there could be some trail relocation, there could be some things, but this lot here is going to be Consumer Credit Union. They are already developing on that one there. So he's getting a lot of calls, getting a lot of asks, getting a lot of information. So I expect that when the dirt work is actually done and some infrastructure is put in, meaning roads and your water, your sewer, that development's going to come pretty quickly. So I'm excited for that. He also did talk a little bit about, when he spoke about the potential of residential going in the back side of this. So this is here, and then this like 16 acres he's got subdivided out. You can't tell on this map, but will be residential.
Will that come through? Will the road come through still or not? The access road?
That is the plan. Eventually, the plan is for this access road and this road down here, which is privately owned, this road right here, to connect.
But that's
So
all
there's gotta be
private.
some work done there, but yeah. So he's got everything through with the surveyor's office, I think IDEM, I mean, some other things that he had to do, but development should be in the very near future for that.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Potential for a couple industry expansions that I talked to. I did some two business retention meetings with industries. They're all very happy being located here. A couple of them would like to expand. They don't have a lot of space, so we looked at which you had the fortitude, Eric, to tell us to put, I gotta find it, that one lot right here in. So it's very possible that one of these businesses does something with that. So that is in our TIF district as well. So I had a conversation with them about that, but I think that's it right now. I mean, there's a few things that could be happening. And what I'm excited about is it sounds like NIPSCO's still moving forward with some updates and some upgrades. So with what Isaac told us at the last meeting, I think in the next few years, we could be really primed and ready for some good development and some industries that, could look at us. So hopefully.
It did occur to me that map that Isaac showed at the last meeting, most of our TIF district is in the NIPSCO area, right?
Yeah.
But that's, well,
For future reference, we should pay attention to that fact when we choose a TIF district.
yeah, well, but that is, what majority he talked about was on the gas side, right? So that's the only gas supplier.
Yep.
But also on the power side. What are your guys' thoughts on, we have not done this before, we don't want a project to stall because we didn't provide anything. We don't want to provide anything that we don't have to provide. Right? Am I saying everything correctly? When Retha gets into
Strength
this,
and balance, yeah.
yeah, when Retha gets into these conversations, it sounds like a Saranova, like they're moving forward, it's gonna happen, right? We're there to help if the questions come up. You talk about, I don't know what you were talking about, I'm gonna make the assumption we're talking like Indiana Marine Products or someone over there in that area. If somebody who's talking industry in the industry area is talking about doing it and they're on the fence, at what point do we bring help if there's help needed on an infrastructure side or something like that? I don't know if there is. Retha didn't say that. I'm asking you guys for future reference. What are your thoughts on that? Because we don't want to show all our cards, but we don't want to keep them in our pocket when and let somebody walk away.
So the conversation I had, I'll just tell you, with an industry over here was, hey, we're looking at potentially having to relocate because we need more space. We're growing. We need a space to expand. There's some things we need to do. So we looked at right away, like, okay, well, hold on. Let me see what you can do. Let's look at what expansion can happen. We immediately talked about the AIF board, which is the Angola Investment Fund. If you're growing your inventory, if you are needing to purchase a new machine, things like that, Angola has the investment fund specifically for that. We can loan you money 2% below prime, up to 100,000, right, Mark?
Yep.
Yeah. So, we instantly talked about that, and they were like, "Oh." And then we said, "Okay, well, don't get super discouraged. Let's look at some opportunities." So I did not, because this lot is owned by somebody else, but the opportunity of possibly subdividing that off and another industry or somebody using that is very possible to me. It's a great level, flat piece of ground. So Like, don't make any decisions without talking to us. Let us see what we can help you with. Let us see what we can do. Absolutely. I will come back here and talk to you. Come to me at City Hall. We'll talk about it. So, I mean, I always try to throw some things out. We've had conversations, and this is in our tip as well, of this building here expanding. They want to do something back here. There were some issues with this area here. You know, I didn't offer anything at the time, but
Did they purchase?
yeah,
Is there a ditch going through there?
I think so. I can't remember, but they bought that property so that they could potentially do an expansion.
So I don't know if there's a discussion to be had or not, but I guess what are your thoughts? At what point we have tools, and if we don't use them, we're gonna be, what Mark said, we're gonna be sitting here for 10 years more that we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a judgment call at the same time.
But don't you trust that Retha knows what our tools are and
I'm asking
knows how to
for,
play her cards?
yes, I do. I'm asking for us to reassure her that we have that faith in her, if that's what we want to say. I'm good with that, but that's what it needs to be shared. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree. Like, she's got the full power of our spending.
She's got the power.
That's one of the cards in her hand. She can't play it without all of us saying yes, but we're like, yeah, we should play cards.
Okay, I'm good with that. I think it's, from Rita's standpoint, you didn't ask that, but I think it's good for you to hear that too.
Yeah, and I don't always just go, hey, you're in the TIF and tell us if you need help, but I definitely say we do have a few more tools than what we used to have in our toolbox.
Yeah.
So there's tax abatements, there's the AIF, there's things that these industries can use, but TIF is just another tool.
Even for
that.
companies that are already moving ahead with things, often what they are looking to do is minimum code, right? We're gonna do the least addition that is required for us that we have to do even if we're moving ahead. Whereas if you're really looking long term, you're like, well, maybe that's not quite enough. And then the TIF could get involved in saying, we're gonna make this a little bigger than what you would normally make it.
And I will say, and not that anybody else has asked that, but as an example, what NDOT is requiring for this build, that was a completely surprise charge for that development.
Yeah, no,
That was completely unexpected. So nobody has asked, nothing was offered, but that is in our district, but it was a complete surprise of, wow. And Amanda did a good job saying, asking them to do this is a huge expense. What about the wood hall, like giving this other option? But even putting a concrete median and even doing that, I mean, that's an expense that was completely not planned for that development. So it is going to slow that development probably a little bit, to be quite honest. So again, nothing was asked, nothing was offered, but that's just an example of some of those pop-up things that happen that people don't expect, that we could step in if need be, if they need us to. Because that could, if it was somebody that is not able to do that, that could cancel a whole project.
From your discussions with other, people, in other communities, do they find more success with the redevelopment commissions being more leading or offering or coming in as needed? You know what I mean?
I have been a little bit surprised because it's a little mixed.
Okay.
There are some commissions that are very active and have multiple TIF districts and they manage that well and they're very busy. There are some that do not advertise that they have that because they only specifically want to use it for infrastructure needs for their community or something like that. They do not advertise or they do not share that they could happen. Now, whether they're more active, I don't know. I would tend to doubt it, but I'm not sure.
I guess in the more active ones where they have different things, are they saying, we see this need, let's do this for you?
Yeah, I don't
Or is
know.
it more of a industry, we need this, can you help us?
Yeah.
I guess we kind of need to decide
Which way direction we want to go in. I'm not completely sure. I can start asking that question though, because that's a good thought on, do you advertise it or do you automatically say, hey, we can do something for you? Or, yeah, I don't know, Carrie, I'm not sure. I don't have a good answer to that.
Okay.
I would venture to say, Mark, speak to the bank, right? If you guys offer a new product, if you don't tell anybody about it, even if you haven't, nobody's gonna use it. You tell them about it for long enough, you don't have to tell them any more about it. Is that true? And I think it's probably some here too. If we start spending some money and helping a few people, word of mouth is what will do the most. And at that point in time, now it's a tool that everybody's aware of. I'm making that assumption, but I think if you talk to people, that's why you hear different. Some have been doing it for a long time. Everybody in our community knows it's an option. Others don't even know that it's an option. I don't know that. I mean, that would be a question I would be curious to know too, an answer to know.
I'll ask at our next, I have a PEC meeting in June, June 12th, I think, so I will find out
What kind of cost is that median? You know,
what kind of,
like how many dollars?
oh, the median, I don't know. I don't know if the developer even knows yet. This was just, like, it happened very fast and was an easy solution to a potentially bigger problem, but NDOT agreed and everybody agreed, so it happened pretty quick. I don't have any idea.
Anything else?
It'd be nice to have one project that could be used for word of mouth.
That's what I'm asking. That's why I'm not saying that is the project, but like that one there is a true example that.
We would like you to be on the hunt for one. Would you do that?
Do that. What do you think something like that costs, Bill? To put like just a low, not a full median, but just a low
You know,
bump
what I'll do is I'll go online and I'll try to send it to you and you can send it to them, but NDOT keeps annual, I guess you call it, contract prices.
Yeah.
You know, so, because people use them for estimating and stuff. I'll send you that. I'll go on and find the link, but there'll be one for center curb or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'll do that. It should
Thank
be.
you.
They have it every year. They update it.
Oh, really?
You know, they
Okay.
have everything from grading to curb and gutter, you know, whatever, asphalt.
The cost in this is gonna be the shutdown and the
Well,
traffic.
and there'll be some
management.
maintaining traffic costs.
That's gonna be the cost, is the maintaining traffic.
Did that come, is Dana Plattner still there? Is that where that come from? Yeah. He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not pushing that project. I'm just, like, you're right, we have to do something probably for people to know.
What's the how far along is the Serenova project to start thinking about what to do with that path?
What to do with that?
The path?
The
bike path.
Oh, the bike path. He's, I mean, pretty far along. Again, infrastructure is not ready, but he's about ready to move dirt, I think. I mean, he's close to being ready to go. As far as I know, I think there's a few other
The
things,
commercial
but
section or for
the commercial section
So
that will butt along that bike path.
I'm gonna read between the lines, but what I heard was it's gonna be phased. And the answer to the bike path is to put it with the new road, but the new road is not gonna be putting in phase one. So we'd be throwing money at a temporary solution until phase one comes through. Am I saying that correctly? That's probably what would happen.
For the reconstruction of North Wayne from NDOT? Is that what
No.
you're saying, the new road? Oh, you're talking about the access drive? Okay.
Access drive. So what we don't wanna build a bike path to nowhere.
right.
And if that road doesn't go through, the bike path will have to come in, because the idea was to move it off the main road. The bike path would be on the access, if I'm saying this correctly, you'll correct me if I'm wrong. But if that access road doesn't go all the way through, now you're connecting it back to an old one just to be tore out at a later date. Do you think that's
That's
fair?
probably fair.
So
So
in this
that was
case,
not far enough along to consider.
Not yet. Not yet.
I would say probably not.
We don't wanna risk a temporary solution.
But it could be leveraging where we say, hey, we really want you to put this access road all the way through. If you'll agree to putting it all the way through in phase one, we'll agree to do this portion of it. Because it'll make it easier to sell the lots, and that's why we would look at it that way. Right? That would be a bargaining chip at that point in time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they're probably gonna stop before they get to that ditch, because that's where the cost is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of
It's a lot of fill, and
fill and a lot.
that front row is gonna be, I guarantee they're gonna be taking that hill out. all along where the bike trail is. Any other discussion? Mark said he's gotta go or he's gonna get upset, so.
At 4:30.
Oh.
I'm in like
Hang out
8
till then?
meetings a month with Mark, he's fine.
I'm good.
No, this is good discussion.
I do have a dumb question though. It had nothing to do with this. Are we done with this subject?
That sounds like it.
How, I know I should know this, I just don't. How, will the potential of a casino affect the city and or the county from a financial point of view? I didn't know, that's why I was kind of asking. I didn't know if that was a Retha question or a Ryan question.
I haven't been provided with anything to say how it would affect us, I guess, unless.
Well, I've heard that. That's why.
There's a nice long study you could probably read through that is supposed to have some figures as far as repercussions for the places where it would locate, but if it's sitting outside of the city limits, I don't imagine that it's really going to have any sort of financial benefit to the city, at least, because we won't be collecting property tax or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, you can look up a lot of different things. Like Ryan said, there's a study out there that they have done. I think the county has put together and Isaac, the EDC put together. But, I mean, there'll be some residual benefit, with maybe new businesses, new, things like that, jobs. But, again, it's not inside city limits. I don't know whose infrastructure that they would connect into. Possibly.
In the
what you
study,
gave
did
them?
they name a site or?
I don't think so. I think
I believe the study named an ideal site, and it was
west
maybe the
of.
Waterloo exit in DeKalb County.
Oh, really? That study? Okay.
Was the ideal location in the initial study.
And it's my understanding, if I understand correctly, location will be decided at a state level, not at a local level.
Oh, okay. I
That's
don't
what
even really
believe
know
I've
it.
understood it.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe the operator would actually be the one to determine, and then the state would sign off on it.
Yeah, but locals are not involved with those decision making, is the way I understood.
The locals basically give their sign off to allow it to be located there, but they're not the ones that are determining that it will be located there.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be on a referendum, right, at the November election. But I know of Steuben County and just talking, I mean, the hope of somewhere west of the outlet or something is what they were looking at that they thought and felt like, but they're trying to just do their due diligence on, hey, where would it make sense for us? What could happen? How could this benefit us as a county? Again, I think regionally, so maybe something doesn't happen right in the city of Angola, but if it happens in Fremont, it benefits us. Portland, it benefits us. Anywhere in our region, in that area, in this county, it's beneficial to us. Any development is, but there's some pros and some cons for sure. But I think residual effect would be a bonus. So.
I've even heard potentially east of the outlets, where the golf course used to be. There's 90-some acres, I think, there, and they're saying that they
I
could build.
honestly don't know. I've heard that too. I've heard a couple different spots. Yeah.
That's literally at 69 on the toll road.
Yeah.
So on an impact thing too, there's some, and I don't know all the regulations on it, but one thing from a nonprofit side is there will be some requirements for dollars to be funded back through into the county, which could potentially funnel through a community foundation. So there would be an impact there, but not on the city side.
Yeah.
I was just curious. I just didn't know.
Something to keep in mind too for infrastructure and the city, if the city annexes any of those things, you're gonna have water, you share that. Water will go all the way out to Pokagon and sewer. will
Water
be
and
Pokagon.
sewer.
But from there, there's nothing in that corridor. Water stops before it gets to 69. Fremont, I'm trying to think. And because there's no water, none of those hotels.
Before it gets to 120.
No, Fremont's water. Sorry, we're talking Fremont now. Fremont, none of those hotels are on Fremont water. And they're all on waste district sewer. So there's, from my understanding, that is, Fremont didn't want to deal with that in the past. So now you're talking, you're just as close now from the Fremont and the Mohegan, so it could end up affecting the city at some point in time, even if it was in the county. Is that fair to say, Ryan? I mean, from a utility side, is that?
Utility standpoint, possibly, yeah.
I also wonder
Then we're
if,
looking at things like capacity as far as the storm, because they would be a large user, I'm assuming.
everything that Isaac's talking about with NIPSCO and REMC, I wonder if potentially landing like a casino would enhance or push them over the top a little.
It might have already.
It might have.
Oh, no, I think there's
Yeah.
Yeah, because Isaac's timelines were
lining up.
4
already
years, right?
2030, yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Definitely.
Anything else controversial we want to discuss?
Look, we got Ryan here.
What's the next topic on the,
Don't put him on the spot for anything.
pull up the bubble, we're gonna read the last comment written.
All right, no, we're canceling. Can we adjourn before we talk about?
Yeah, do you guys have anything else to discuss? I'm excited that this was a shorter meeting because we're doing stuff in the right order, and I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah.
Now we just need some properties to take off.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I have confidence that it will happen. And I will just say too, in the business retention meetings that I have been to recently, I always bring up location in there, like where they're shipping and sending out product. And every one of them have said, we are really in this prime location. Like they couldn't ask for a better spot with 69 and 80/90 and how they talk about that often. So none of them want to ever relocate, but finding the space, getting the gas capacity, the things that they need, you know, sometimes leads them in a different direction, but they all love our area for that purpose, for logistic wise.
So one thing that's been discussed for years is 20 is the gateway into our community.
Mhm.
We've said that forever. It's gotta look nice. This is the way to come in. But then we also always hear, you're too far from the interstate. Your town is too far from the interstate. That's why you're not getting these restaurants. And that's what you can see and nobody knows Angola's here when they drive by. Are we foolish for trying to make that our gateway? Are we better off putting those warehousing and everything else out there because we're already physically too far from the interstate? Should you utilize that?
So what I've been doing when I talk to site selectors or some of these brokers that call on behalf of restaurants and different places is I give them, June Julian at our tourism bureau, she has an amazing software called Placer AI that will take traffic counts and so on. So what I try to highlight in anything that I do is say, don't just look at us at our US 20 exit. Look at the Crooked Lake, look at the Lake James exit. Like that's the closest to our north end of town anyway, but also look at our traffic counts. So when you look at us on paper, sometimes it doesn't look like we have that much population. We don't have that much activity, but you take into account the Lakers that come in to that north side. They come up about as far as Meyer and stop usually, but the traffic counts in front of Meyer in the summer are ridiculous. And then you look at the college students throughout the season and you look at the people that, you know, we have from Southern Michigan coming over and from Western Ohio that shop here, that eat here, that do life here, that work here. There's a lot. So when you look at the traffic counts from all of those exits versus just US 20, it's a big deal. We have way more than what you expect when you just look at our population count. So, yeah, trying to get people to see that a little bit more. But as we have development happening, Consumer Credit Union coming in, it spurred an open door of some things, some other brands that are developing and going out into other communities. And they're like, oh, well, you're void of this or you're void of this. And now you've got a Consumer Credit Union. So we usually follow them with these types of things. So it's just weird how development and how the brokers work and what makes us pop out to people. But, you know, logistic wise, our location and what that looks like, but also our location for, you know, these other states coming in and working and shopping and doing things here. It's a huge deal. So I can get some traffic counts from June if you guys want to see them. I haven't done it for a little while, but it makes a big difference, and that's what site selectors and what they look at. It's the traffic count. So when we used to try to get things out on US 20 for that gateway, they would say, you don't have enough. You don't have enough traffic getting off coming into your town. Like, there's just not enough. But looking at all three and looking at some of the other ways, we do have it.
But I guess that's something, mindset wise, we've always said that's gotta be the nicest part coming into town.
I know.
Do we
Yeah.
change that mindset? Think of Gas City, right? We've already got a Love's and got how many gas stations out there? You're not, no matter what you put out there, it's still gonna look like a rest stop out there. Are we, you know, Mark, you talk about warehousing. Are we better off really thinking through that? Like, let's just fill it with warehousing, cause you gotta be a destination inside of town anyways. They're not gonna stop because they see it. But that's never been the mindset of the city, like, oh, we gotta be the nicest thing coming in. I've always agreed with it, but now I question whether we're really doing that the correct way.
So one thing Auburn's done really well. I mean, it's one of the things that's
They're
done
right
really
there.
well.
They
Yeah.
can see them.
Yeah.
We can't
You
do
can be
that though
seen
because of where
from-
we're
yeah.
at. So are you better off saying, we're never gonna be that person who's been seen, let's fill it with.
Well, Fort
with
Wayne said
warehousing
for
in our
years,
TIF.
they made a huge mistake when, and I can't think of that engineer's name from A to Z, but he would always say he was part of taking 69 away from downtown and bringing it, and Fort Wayne for years have said, if we still had the highway that ran through, we could develop so much more because it is visual. It's visual, you're right there, you see that. So the gateway thing, you're right, Eric, it has been, we always talked about this as a gateway into town, and I don't know, you know, in traveling and doing things, you get off an exit, and if you're like, okay, never mind, we'll just get off and go somewhere else. You know, the gateway is important and what that looks like is important, but you have to remember that, I mean, some of these have been sold
Yeah.
already, so if you look here,
Yeah,
you can
no, I
see
know
who
some of
that's
them
been
have.
sold to, so I don't know what type, I mean, this side is still there for potential development, spec building, something, I mean, that's still feasible. I don't know that we have that same mindset that we had before on how it has to look. I think we're willing to get a little bit more creative and have some mixed use and have some things out that, I mean, you almost have to now.
I think
Yeah.
people's heads are in their phones and on their GPS, they're not seeing the gateway coming in like it was at one point in time. You're going on the interstate, you don't even know where you ended, how you got to where you were, but you got to where you were because it was punched in. You're not pulling over to because it looks like a nice place to pull over.
I've never really thought about what you just said, but it makes sense. You know, when you go stay at a nice hotel someplace, and you know, one of the first things I ask is, where are 2 or 3 nice places really close to eat? Well, if you stay out at the Wyndham, it's Taco Bell.
Right.
You know, I mean, there's not a lot.
And people don't, you know, to drive into our downtown, they don't think that way. It's not, you want to get to the closest, all the fast food, all the restaurants, all the things, but so to get even just some development to get into that downtown, I mean, clearly, we still want it to look nice. We don't want to have some junkyards or some things out there, but you know, you want to get them there. But that's marketing, that's
That's the other stuff. That's what I'm
that's a
saying.
lot of things.
That's why I
that we're
compared to
missing.
that Gas City exit, right? Where
Yeah.
it was just, when was the last time you were in Gas City for anything? You weren't, but you know what that exit looks like. So,
Yeah.
John, you had something?
Isn't that close to that British pub?
Yeah.
Which I love.
Isn't
The Gas City
I
exit?
didn't, yeah.
that Fountain City? They're right in that area. They're all kind of same area.
Upland, Pains.
And Payne's is there. in
That's
Gas
what it's
City?
called, Pains. I didn't like look for it.
Of course, right, it's like, I know that one.
I just Googled.
That's what I'm saying, like, yeah. But anyways, I'm really sidetracked. It's
I
such a
don't
good
think
conversation.
we're visually cued. I moved here 10 years ago, and like it took me a year or two because I used to live in Milwaukee. Their lake effect is climatological, right? Here we have lake effect, but it's socioeconomic, right? Lake effect is the reason you don't go shopping on July 3rd for your groceries. It's also the reason why it's pointless to try going on July 5th because the shelves are all empty, right? But because of the lake effect, you know, Angola generally punches way above its weight for its average population, right? It has enough shopping in big box stores for consumers. It has more than its fair share of mom and pop restaurants, and they're scattered around. I don't know that people really necessarily mind driving, especially if you're going down like some idyllic countryside road to like find a little out of the way place.
Circle around a lake or something, get a view of the lake.
Yeah,
And-
yeah,
and-
exactly.
and like you drive up to Four Corners and there's 2 or 3 restaurants there, and you like, if you take, was it 300 West, 200 West, whatever it is, like, and you go up there and you're like, oh wow, this seems like it's out in the nowhere, out in the middle of nowhere, and you end up with this small patch of like nice restaurants and stuff where you have a good time, and then you go back to your hotel. And half of them are coming to the area to rent houses for a week or something like that anyway. So having a downtown, even if you have to drive a mile or 2 to get to it, like, I think it's all right.
I don't
We
think,
do have some new things coming in downtown now, so.
yeah. I don't know that you guys discussed, but if any of you have ever had a conversation at all with Julian, the Tourism Bureau, if you ever have, you've been told at least 7 or 8 statistics during that conversation. She's brilliant when it comes to those things. I don't know that it would be, if it falls in line with us or not, but I don't know that it would be a bad idea to have her come in sometime and share what she thinks would be good for the redevelopment side, because it is, tourism is tourism, but it's quality of life too, which falls under us.
She's very knowledgeable.
I don't know
on
what,
that, yeah.
I don't know what you think. I think it would be,
It's good to listen to.
would be okay at some point to maybe put her on the schedule to say, hey,
Okay.
how does this fit in to our, am I stretching that, Ryan? It's quality of life. I think it ties in okay. Is that right?
I think so.
She wants to take care of things.
She's very bashful. She's never met her.
It's very bad.
You know, we're doing these studies as far as utility availabilities
Yeah.
to tie that in with that.
It might not be a bad
As
idea.
an offering
Yeah.
down the road to package the two together.
Because we want people to come here and want to develop, and part of that is, she'll tell you tourism is not, I mean, that's a title, but it's quality of life.
Yeah, and they have a great site. They're a great partner, willing to
That's all you can do.
sponsor and do, but she has a great website for our community as well, and tries hard to get that out there. And so yeah, I know she would love to come and talk. She would
She can
be
do,
all about that.
like, knowing how many people are at the grocery store, how many were on the lake that weekend. It's incredible.
That Placer AI, you have to see.
It is
Yeah.
incredible what they can do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, we can adjourn if anybody wants to make a motion. So part of your time. John made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
No, let's just hang out. All in favor? Aye. Opposed. All right.